Good morning. Welcome to Country Dwellers. You are joining us in our little cottage on the internet. I'm Runa.
And I'm MareLin. Good morning, everyone. We are on episode 9 today.
9. Very
Yes,
powerful number for me for numerology.
yes, it is. It's all about abundance and it's about coming to fulfillment. So that's amazing. Good. Um, Today, I think we are going to talk about certain things like, facing reality, the realities of what is going on with us right now, the realities of going into shadow time, the realities of facing those things that are going on, going into shadow time. It's different when these I think it's very different when the realities come to you and it's not that shadow time, it's shadow work, but it's not double down with shadow time. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? You're like, oh, well, I can go sit out in the sun and do my shadow work and go through all this process. Not anymore.
No, can you hear the rain? Can you hear the rain? It is just bucketing right now, and the wind is howling, and the rains are here, and soon it will be the big dark.
Yes, it will. The big dark until March, at least. Maybe we'll get some sunny winter days. Who knows? Who knows?
Well,
I'm
we
going to
always
pray.
get we always get that fall spring in February. So
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
mhm.
Bleh. So I don't know about you, but these past couple and it's very weird because normally when Samhain is approaching, I'm getting spirit message and I'm like, oh yay, Samhain's approaching. This year is so different, so
Mhm.
different. We finally decided, like I said, to allow the boys to go trick-or-treating, but I have to make a phone call today that I don't want to make, and it is to the Hotel Sorrento in Seattle, and it is canceling our reservation in their haunted room, which we've taken like for three past years now for our anniversary, 2 or 3 years. Um,
I
and we
love the
have to,
Hotel
oh my
Sorrento.
God, it's my favorite. It's my
Oh,
favorite
they,
space.
they
I
do this
absolutely love it.
they do this great
It's
uh
coming up, the witch's tea.
well, they do the witch's tea, but they also regularly, like on a monthly basis, do this noir at the bar, and
I
you just
know,
bring your book and they play the
I
piano and
know,
drink great cocktails and read a book
I
and
know. It
hang
is my
out.
favorite,
Love it.
favorite space. And we rent out the haunted room and have a lot of fun in that haunted room. And I have to call and cancel it today. So if anybody's hearing this and you're interested in staying there and you're going to go to the hotel, please call the Hotel Sorrento and rent out this room. It's an amazingly, the rate is wonderful for the room. Just know that. And the really sad thing is, Runa, is I scheduled this in January. I called and reserved that room in January. Fuck this fucking pandemic. Fuck you.
Mm.
That's all I have to say to that. So sick of it already. So anyway, that's one of the things that I'm facing. And then another thing that I'm facing is there's a lot of realities about me that are coming through. A lot of realities about me that are coming through.
Mhm.
And you know how when you do all this shadow work, and I remind people all the time, shadow work is layer by layer by layer by layer, and it's a forever thing. You're constantly working on it, right?
Mhm.
Um, and I'm too aware that I've faced a lot of the external stuff. I've faced a lot of the past stuff, and now
Mhm.
I'm to a layer where I really am facing the internal me. You
Mm.
know, so
Mhm.
the ego me.
Yeah.
So it's this shadow work is a bit different. It's a bit
Yeah.
different.
It's tough. I feel you. I am struggling as well. I'm getting tons of messages from the universe and that saying, it's going to be okay. You just got to get through this. But in the thick of it, it's really difficult because you have this internal work that's going on that you have to do. with the angst of the times, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
we're living in right now. And it's thick and brutal. Like
Yes.
I feel brutalized by this transformation. But as we were talking earlier, 2020 and all of the planetary influences, everything that's been going on is all about transformation.
Yep. Yep.
And I know our listeners are also going through some kind of transition and transformation. And I really hope that they'll connect with us and tell us their stories, because I think if we come together and share, it will alleviate some of that burden, as it were.
Definitely. Definitely. And like we were saying, it's one thing to go through the shadow work, have the sun, go out in nature, but it's another thing to go through the shadow work, going into the dark, you know, and having that double shadow. And then, like you said, this stuff that's happening, you know, to the US, to all over the world. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit much. It's a bit much.
It is. I'm burning sage like a banshee, and it's, you
Yeah.
know, just it I all of the tools that I normally use to feel centered, to feel grounded, aren't quite doing the job.
Mm-hmm.
And it, to me, it's very frustrating because they always have worked my entire life. And all of a sudden, these things don't quite cut it. And again, I know, especially from my dream work that's going on, that other people are feeling like this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can say is you just have to keep plodding on. Like, what's your phrase that you like so much?
I don't know. What is it?
Fake it till you make it.
Oh yeah, fake it till you make it, girl. That's right. Fake it till you make it. That's it, baby.
I mean, you have to, you can't just go through the motions. That's not what I'm
No,
suggesting.
no. Of course not. Of course not.
But you know, when it doesn't quite feel right, you just kind of have to take a deep breath and be patient. And patience is something I have always struggled with.
Really? I thought you were like the most patient person that I know.
I am very patient for certain things. But when I do the work to make something happen, to solve a problem, and it hangs out there,
Yeah.
Often it means that I have no control over that. And I recognize that, but yet I'm like, but this is a problem. It must be solved.
Well, like you and I were talking too, like not only are you going through this internal transformation, you're going through the change transformation and all of this stuff, and then the shadow. And I really think that spirit is saying, hey, it's time to mix it up a little bit. Like you've hit a plateau of your safe space, you know, it's time to kind of transition yourself into a new safe space, which is going to take some exploration by you, which especially in this time is very scary. And it's very nerve-wracking. And sometimes we're like, I don't fucking have time for that right now. I don't.
Right. And I absolutely feel that. Like I feel the pressures of trying to support and provide resources for not just Villa Westwick here and the Viking and I and our two little scoundrel pups that are driving me nuts because they won't stay in the yard anymore. 2 acres and it's not enough for their tiny asses. Anyways, but also, you know, helping my 2 college students, and it's not an easy path in a pandemic world where the economy has gone to shit, despite what certain individuals on the East Coast seem to think, because the stock market is only a dog whistle for the wealthy, not the working man, as we are. And so it's stressful. It feels like, you know, I need to step back and I need to concentrate on my spirituality and the projects that I am trying to birth as a wise woman and as a crone. And I don't feel like I am given the time and the space to do that right now. And so there's that conflict on top of the big change.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to go out in the woods and scream. And I know I've been saying that for like 3 weeks now. And I keep trying to schedule it and do it. And then it rains like today, you know, or I'm, you know, trying to, you know, get some kind of new employment that allows me to stay here on the property and not go out into the world where I want to just throttle people because they are awful. But you know, it's, you know, I know that everyone is feeling this, and
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
want
yeah. In
to,
different ways, for sure.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to pile on with people. Yeah, that's, sorry, I'm wearing my brace still. My arthritis is so bad right now
I
that
hear you.
the rain, it's the rain.
I know.
Just give me a little cane.
I can't feel my pinky most of the time. So, but
What's that?
I can't feel my pinky due
Oh
to
no.
arthritis in my elbow and nerves and all that. Yeah, it's great.
We had
Getting
our,
old is fucking great. It's fabulous.
oh, it's so good.
I suggest everyone try it out.
We had our elder call last night with the family, like all the older members of the family, and I had this on, and I had my tennis elbow brace on,
Mhm.
and you know, had ice on my knee, and my, you know, 85-year-old father-in-law was like, "What's wrong with you?"
Right? Are you okay? Oh my God, I'm 80 something years old and I don't have this shit. What's up?
Right.
Also a dude. So let me just put it out there. Our bodies fucking go through this a little bit differently, right?
But my point is that you just have to keep fighting. You got to put that warrior armor on and know that you're going to come through on the other side and be okay. In the midst of it, though, yeah, you want to scream. You want to say, I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of doing this work. But if you give up now, it's just going to extend that difficult time.
I think that one of the things that we need to pay attention to is the most important work is done when we don't want to do it. The most important work needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? And one of the ways to just begin it is just to begin it, just to take that first step and just do it, you know, just fucking get through it, you know. Some of it, I think that some of it we don't have to use so much brain power and overthink it as much. You know, we do just need to kind of acknowledge it, acknowledge that we've worked on it before and we've shed that. Why are the remnants are just there? Let's sweep them out of the way. You know what I'm saying? And then other parts of it are like, okay, I really need to work this out mentally. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go let my dog out. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is going to be a difficult time. We're going to have to push through some things. We're really going to have to mentally challenge ourselves to work through some other things. And we're also going to have to remember that this is a time to change things up. That's what this transformation is all about this year. It's about changing things up. No more going with status quo. No more going with the old ways of thinking and the old ways of doing. It's now about the new ways of thinking and doing. So part of moving into those new ways of thinking and doing is our personal beings as well, you know, and that is what is another thing that's making this very difficult for people, because people are really having to face their real selves so they can make that change.
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel like, given my dreams as of late, that part of what is ahead of me, and it remains to be seen, I'm, you know, I don't know the future. Nobody does. You can get an inkling of it, but your path is your own. You have choices that can change that. But I think that I'm going down this path, and I think this is the way that I'm going forward. And I feel like I may get blindsided. I'm, you know, and the universe is going to be like, nope, you have to go this way instead. And I don't know if I'm prepared for that yet, but
I gotcha.
we'll see.
I
mean,
gotcha.
Mars is in retrograde, Mercury's in retrograde, and all kinds of stuff can happen.
Well, Uranus and Neptune are still in retro as well, but we're going to be having some planets closing up and going direct again soon. Neptune is going to be going direct November 29th, and Mercury is going to be going direct November 3rd. And I'm not going to talk about Uranus because it doesn't go direct until 2021. So we're just going to leave it at that. We're not going to talk about Uranus right now. And Uranus is that sudden change. So we're not going to talk about it right now.
Where's that sage? I mean, but I also have to say that this past week, I had a little epiphany, if you will, and I want to publicly acknowledge the Skolem tribe and the fact that my home resides on their ancestral land.
Oh, did you do that too? So many people did that. Let me see. I did that myself. Hold on. I have to go through and find it. Because I get so many texts throughout the day. All right, let's see. In Snoqualmie, Washington, you are on the Coast Salish and Duwamish land.
So, I could have told you that, but
shout it out. I thought it was cute, the whole app that you can go on and find out where you're at, and then that just leads to hopefully people doing more research into where they're at, that land, the history behind it and stuff.
My boat, they're all on Skolem land. So,
well, there you go. Okay, so let's talk about the reduce, reuse, or recycle. You go first.
Well, I want to tell everybody about their local Buy Nothing group. And for me, the access is through Facebook, which honestly, Facebook is only about groups for me anymore. It's about my witchy groups. It's about my permaculture and gardening groups. And it's about Buy Nothing. Because when we went from travel life back to this kind of homestead life, because of the pandemic, because where are we going to travel to? I don't know. Anyhow, I know people are still doing it, but it wasn't the choice that we could make for ourselves. And Buy Nothing has allowed me to get lighting for our house. So what the Buy Nothing and furniture and all kinds of good stuff. And what it is people post things that are gently used, they can't use, they're purging, and they would like to gift it to somebody else instead of put it in the landfill or let it, clutter up their garage for years and years. So, they say, hey, I've got this, cast iron lamp or this patio set, or, I'm searching hard for plants right now and kitchen stuff. Like I still need like a food processor and a dehydrator. And I really, first of all, I'm not in a position to get those things, but at the same time, I don't want to buy something new if somebody has something that's perfectly usable. And they
for sure.
And it's all about, that paying it forward kind of thing. And it was a great way to meet people when I was, back at the Thrasher homestead and learn about the greater community. And it's the same thing here. I'm learning about different areas and different people. I've gone out to farms. I've gone out to little suburban neighborhoods to pick out stuff and, met some of my neighbors, as it were, even, masks and socially distanced and everything like that. It's a great way to not have this negative impact on the planet as far as like these full landfills or the manufacturing impacts on Mother Earth as well. So, and you know, you learn your community. So
Well, because of
even
this
for me,
pandemic,
a
many
solitary and a
people,
crone who hates people mostly, it's been really nice. It's been really nice, and I wanted to kind of give a shout out to people, to everyone who are listening about this community. So if you're on Facebook, search for your local Buy Nothing. That's what it is. Buy Nothing, and then probably your community. Like for you, it's Buy Nothing Snoqualmie.
yeah.
But
A lot of people are getting releasing things, especially due to the pandemic, you know, because people are reorganizing, going through all of their stuff and getting rid of a lot of stuff, you
right,
know,
right.
which is great for people that don't mind it not being new and gently used, like you and I, you know what I'm saying? Dude,
Right.
if I can find a bargain, I'm on it.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, uh, and why wouldn't you be?
I mean,
Whatever.
we bought a bed and we bought a carpet. That's what we bought. Everything else we've been able to get from friends, family, and our community to set our house back up.
Oh, we're gonna have a thunderstorm today.
I heard that.
I love the thunderstorms. I do. I love a good thunderstorm.
The
Ooh, I
Viking
like
does
it.
too.
My triple R is reusing wax. I like to, you know, I make a lot of candles. And not only do I reuse the wax, but I reuse the containers. So this week, my triple R is about reusing wax that has melted from one candle, um, and melting it again and adding aromatherapy to it, so essential oils to it, and then reusing those little plastic wax containers, you know, when you drop them into the heater thing. You know what I'm talking about, right? The melter thing. I can't remember the word for it now. Anywho, that's one of the things I do. I reuse my wax, and especially on candles that are at their end, I take that wax, I melt it, I put my essential oils into it, and I put it into those little plastic containers.
This thing?
Yeah, exactly. And I put it into those little plastic containers and I let it dry. And then I have my potpourri wax. I have my scented wax that I just plop in my melter, and it smells my whole house up. So that's my triple R today.
I like it. I like it. I miss having my little melter crock pot thing.
Yeah, why can I not remember the name of it? It's so weird. Wow. I mean, I used to have one of those little teeny crock pots like that. And then I used to make like herbal scents and stuff like that too, like brews, and put it in there. But also I used to melt wax in that too, you know.
I had a whole candle making kit too.
Yeah, I know. I've got tons of it. And you'd be surprised. I've got all the molds, I've got everything, but I really love just reusing jars and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because
I used to go get old teacups from like
yeah, exactly. And you can reuse anything to make these amazing candles, you know?
My little farm stand, those would go super fast.
Yeah. So I love it. I love it. I love it so much. All right, let's talk about our recipe or our brew this week. I actually created this brew, so I'm proud of myself.
Yay! Do you want to talk about the ingredients, or shall I?
I'll talk about them.
Okay.
So this week we are talking about my famous detox water, aka poop, and because that's what you're going to be doing when you drink it.
It cleans you out.
Exactly. It has. I use fresh mint. It has
fresh mint. See?
Yes, I know. And for the gallon, I use about 4 lemons. I use
They're in there. They're all like floated to the top.
I know, but all their juices are all in there. Cucumber, ginger, let's see, mint, cucumber, lemon, ginger, and cayenne pepper.
That's the color that you see.
Yeah, that's the color that you see. And it's also the spiciness that you will taste when you drink it. but it's also one of the things that helps to clean you out. And don't be surprised if when you do this, not only are you going to be cleaned out, but you're going to feel in the beginning like you have a lot of energy. It's going to give you a lot of energy. So don't be surprised if you feel that. And I do, and before everybody goes out and tries it, check with your doctor first and make sure that it is okay for you to detox yourself, because sometimes it's not good for people to do that. And I also recommend, some people just detox with the water. Hello, Vanna. Some people just detox with the water like all day, like I can do that and I'm fine with it. And other people are not, because you have to eat blood sugars and things like that. So if you feel as though you need to eat something, but just make it more of a healthy choice. No Cheetos when you're trying to freaking detox on the water.
Mention that all of this should
it has to sit
for
and
at least
ferment
4 hours in the
for
fridge.
24 hours at least. Yes, in the fridge.
Yeah, before you drink it. And then you just spend, the day that you want to do this drinking as much of that as you can. Yeah.
At home. Yes.
And I'm looking forward to my cleanse, because I need to get rid of all this negativity that's piling up in my body.
Yes, I think that the cleanse would be very good for you. Very good for you, for sure. So that's the brew today. Wow. That's probably the only one that I will create.
Yes.
I'm not the brew master.
And in addition to the cleanse that I'm going to be doing, I wanted to put out a little kind of Crone Life solitary shenanigans, quick Roma spell, ritual, if you will. And it's taking an orange peel, half of it, as you can see, and a little green candle. And I sprinkle nutmeg around the top. And I set my intention and light the candle, and it's a easy, quick prosperity, abundance manifestation spell. So whatever it is that you want to come to you, this is a great way to focus that energy and bring it forth.
Very nice. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but my husband's making us smoothies this morning out there. So that we got the Vitamix rolling out there, baby.
Oh, there it is. I hear it now.
You hear it now?
I thought it was just the thunder, right?
All right. So let's talk about we are beginning Mercury retrograde today. Yeah. So hi Mercury retrograde. How are you? Although, like we've been talking about, we've been feeling it for quite a bit. I just want to remind people that it's not too late to back up your stuff, number one. And it's not too late to purchase those necessary items that you might want to have during this retrograde to do your planning. And it's also not too late, and I do recommend this, to do your voting research. We still haven't gotten our ballots over.
We haven't either. But some of my neighbors have.
We got the book, but we haven't gotten our ballots.
We got the book.
And they said that they should be coming by the 16th is when we should get them.
So next week.
Yeah. So
when everyone's hearing this episode.
Oh yeah, that's right. I always forget. I phase in future and present time always in these damn podcasts. We might just want to break it down and be like, dude, we record one Tuesday and then I release it another Tuesday. That's pretty much how it goes. So that is happening, and that's a lot of fun, a lot of electronic technological fun just waiting to be had. And everybody, don't be surprised if plans that you make go awry, communication goes asunder. Like that's just the way that it is. Yeah. So if you,
I was going to send a scathing email to someone, and I knew I was in.
Did you double think it? You sat back for a second?
Oh, I did. I did. I stepped back. The praying mantis that have been visiting me quite frequently for the last month came and visited me again, and I stepped back and I
Good.
read it over again. And you have to understand to a degree that most people that you communicate with, especially if they're not in your inner circle, they're not family, they're not good friends, they don't care. They don't care.
Well, I mean, part of this, all these retrogrades, is responding instead of reacting. You know what I'm saying? So that's amazing that you took that step back to decide how you wanted to respond. You know what I mean? Versus you're a fucking motherfucker. And I will tell you that it's just the technological aspect of all of this is immense. Number one, like my dad just got his bank account hacked into. Just found out yesterday that some bitch has been stealing his money out of his bank account. My dad is on a fixed income, Social Security and veterans benefits. That's what he gets every month. And found out that this
That's
bitch,
not a lot. People think
no,
you're living high on the
no,
hog with that,
and
it
found
is.
out that this bitch hacked into his account, changed, she had to have known everything, changed where his deposits were being deposited, put his account information in her electronic wallet, and then went and spent money on it, and then closed his access to his account. Like, he changed his password and everything, so he couldn't even sign into it. Yeah.
Goodness.
So hello, technological shit. And the way people are acting out in this world today, some people are still surprised by it. And you know what? That's great. I miss that, being surprised at how awful people can be feeling. But to be quite honest with you, when my sister told me about it yesterday, I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised. People are hungry right now. They're hungry. You know what I'm saying? So they are taking all kinds of different means to get money, and feed their families and all those things. But when you hack into somebody's account and you only see that they're getting Social Security and veterans benefits, do me a favor, get the fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying? So just know this Sheila Burke, and put her name out there, probably fake name, but Sheila Burke, who hacked into my dad's account, I will find you. I will find you, whoever you are, and you won't enjoy what I do to you. Thank you very much. And this is when the dark side comes out.
Right.
This is when the dark side. And you know what? I tell people be all light and sun shit, but when somebody goes against my family and hurts my family, that's when the fucking dark side comes out. And I have no problem putting that energy back out onto someone for what they did to mess with my family. And now my dad has to go through the whole veterans thing, have them deposit his money in a new account. And you, of all people, know how long that's going to fucking take to happen. Yeah. Yeah. If they don't try and say, oh, well, you don't deserve these benefits anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
You have to fight for what you get, which should not be the case, by the way. You already fought.
But I took into consideration that Mercury was retrograde, and that despite my best intentions, that communication was going to fall flat at best, not come back at me more negatively. And I still may send that communication, but I may wait until Mercury is not retrograde anymore. It's a message that these individuals need to hear, but when they hear it is probably just as important as how.
Correct, because it won't be received. It won't be received at certain times. And so that message that is being heartfelt from you, that you want to send, it's important that the other party receive it. Right. So good. And that's what this is all about. It's about taking that step back. Before we react, think about how we want to respond. Right. And like we were talking about, Neptune and Uranus are also still in retrograde, as well as Mars. So that adds that fiery conflict too. It adds a lot of fire to the plate.
I'm feeling that conflict internally, externally.
Yeah.
It's real. It's
And
heavy.
then Uranus comes in and says, hey, you thought that you were transforming with Mars and Aries. Guess what? I got news for you. Still got a lot of work to do. So let's make all these other changes on top of it, you know? And then Neptune comes into play, and Neptune reminds us, look, our mind can be so many things. It can be our greatest tool, or it can be our greatest demise. So we need to start being very creative, not only in our forms of communication, but forms of expression in general, you know? And Neptune comes in and tells us exactly that, like, hey, a lot of this is about this transforming change. It's about, but how do you want to communicate it? How do you want to express it? So be creative, get out of your normalcy and start finding different ways to express yourself during this transformation, you know, and also to create a new foundation for us to plant seeds for better, you know.
That's what I'm trying to keep in the forefront of my mind, is that this change, this transformation, this transition is really difficult and it's hard. But on the other end of it is going to be something better.
I fully agree.
And it may not look like it's going to be better because maybe it was a direction on your path that you weren't anticipating, but it will be something better. It will absolutely be something better.
I agree with you. And it may take a minute, and it's going to be, you know, hard for some people to be easy. And then for other people, it's going to be some hard work happening. But just have faith. Just really have faith that the universe does have our best and highest good at heart. And as dark as it is, we are all traveling that same dark path right now. So we all need to remember that none of us is alone. You know, even though we're experiencing it differently, none of us is alone right now. And today I pulled the Emperor card. Yes, I like the Emperor card. So the Emperor card talks about taking on more responsibility. The Emperor card, which is what you and I talked about, but like, stop. And the Emperor card talks about acknowledging the leader role and demanding a little bit more respect. So drawing those boundaries as well, you know, like acknowledging what you're doing, the responsibilities that you already have, and stating, hey, you know what? I'm doing a lot. So number one, I'm going to draw boundaries. And number two, you need to fucking acknowledge what I'm doing, and you need to pay me the respect that I deserve, because I am worth this. You know what I'm saying? It's about remembering to be firm but fair. Once again, those boundaries. And it's about your vision of what you, the vision of what you want is clear right now. And it is time to create, especially during retrograde. It is time to create.
Can you hold the card up again for like 7 seconds so I can see him again? Because I forgot what he looks like. Oh, he is the sexy. Okay.
So it's also time to create that calm from the chaos of what's happening right now. And we can do that by using strategy and organization. And it's also
you saw my studio right now.
I know my office is the same, but during retrograde, that's what I do. I go through, I clean off all my altars and all that stuff. And that brings clarity to my mind, you know? And it's also time to step into the role of teacher, step into that role of sage, you know, it's that time, that time of day. Okay, so let's go on and do the spell. So you know how I said I'm acknowledging certain things going on with me right now, and this is a big shadow time for me. And so this spell is about letting go. And although it talks about the I in me, I know that several people are going through this whole release thing too and can use it as well. So it talks about letting go of the jealousy that we sometimes feel towards others. that they may be attaining a goal or a dream that we thought we wanted. And it's about embracing the truth of being who we really are, right? Sometimes, you know, I even do it. I look on Insta and all these things. I'm like, oh my God, she's doing this. Well, I wanted to do that before too, and I can do that. Why am I not doing that? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then I have to really, this is what's happening to me. And it's like, look, bitch, please, you cannot do all the things in all the places. And that's okay. Because when you try to do all the things in all the places, none of them is at 100%.
Yes,
So
but is that person's nails as on fire as yours? Let me tell you.
I've been getting lots of compliments on my nails lately. So I have had to come to the realization that I am really good at a one thing, and I am going to walk that path of that one thing, and especially in this magical spiritual world. And you know what? Everybody else can be, you can create your things and you can do your things, and it's amazing. And that's probably why Spirit brought me into that realm of those things, was to meet the eclectic group of people that I have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Spirit definitely has told me, you don't have time to do all the things in all the places. So sit the fuck down and concentrate on this one thing.
Right. Just
So,
because you can do something doesn't mean that you should.
exactly. Exactly.
What is blowing right outside your window there? Is that
Oh,
a
that's
calla
my,
lily?
it's my roses. Those are my white roses
Oh,
that
they're
are blowing.
beautiful. They're
Thank
beautiful.
you. They keep blooming. Like I'm like, okay, it's time to cut you back, but they keep putting out roses. So I'm like, okay, you're leading the pack. I'm gonna let you do it. Keep growing. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, here we go. I'm facing the truth of who I am, of what is real without the glam. All those things I've tried to do and be, I'm realizing they were only a stepping stone to finding the real me. I look now into the mirror of life. I allow the truth to flow and release the strife. I celebrate that which I choose to do and not to do, for that is what makes me me, and you, you. So it is. So
Very
celebrate.
nice.
Celebrate everybody's goals and everybody's dreams and everybody's differences. Celebrate all of that. All right, you take us out, babe.
Thanks for spending this time with us. Go in peace, love, and light.
The circle is open but unbroken. Until we meet again, my darlings, merry part and
And
blessed be.